Hi, this is Video Game Animation Study. I'm Dan, a professional animator with a passion for video games. So lately I've been replaying Symphony of the Night on the old PS4 here. At least I've been trying to. My 2-year-old daughter enjoys touching the light on the PS4 controller. I'm like, Dorts, please, I'm trying to beat up a bloody book here. Anyway, one thing that's always kind of stuck out in my mind about Symphony of the Night, especially when you look at all the animation as a whole, is Alucard's running animation. So I thought I'd do a small deep dive, or maybe a little bottomless belly flop, or a shallow swim on this particular aspect. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what I immediately don't like is this kind of flimsy, flat smoothness to the movement of the legs and arms combined with a lack of head bob. The way the arms kind of punch make me feel like he's dad dancing or that he's doing an impression of a steam train, and not a fast one. The speed his arms and legs move result in sluggishness, especially when you compare this to the rest of his snappy, quick attacks. I mean, it feels like they're trying to match the aesthetic of the Belmont's walking cycle, even though it's a run cycle. There's not enough easing for this. Also, what's kicking his hair up? His head isn't bobbing, so I don't know why that's going crazy. I mean, look at the extremes of this pose. They barely make an X shape, which we all know is the best run cycle shape. Also, why the sudden jolty stop? It's not like you're running that fast.
Why not just float the whole bloody time, you...
Okay, so what we actually need to consider here is that Alucard is in fact a vampire, or a dhampir. He's actually half vampire, but the point is that he retains a lot of vampiric qualities, and this is important to his run cycle. This aesthetic seems to contrast the Belmont clan's heavy, macho walking animations. The delicate floatiness of his movements all relate to his supernatural origins and that traditional quality of vampires. This push-off is a very clear indication of that, where he quite literally glides along the floor before initiating arm and leg movement. The extremes of this cycle are soft, resulting in little bobbing and a general lack of urgency, even with that slight forward leaning, but instead reflects a kind of silent confidence Alucard displays during interactions and other animations, instead of an energetic march we'd probably expect from an action platformer. There's something very royal and elegant about Alucard's appearance, and I think this further pushes the dynamic reservations in his run cycle. He's not necessarily in a frantic hurry, with harsh extremes and heavy easing. It's more of a calculated, constant perseverance. This more constant motion allows some really beautiful movement from his cloak. With every step, his shoulders and elbows move forwards and backwards, affecting his cloak during the movement, resulting in this wave-like quality. Fabric is a bitch to master as it is. I'll never quite understand the excellence and dedication of pixel artists, let alone pixel animators. The dad dancing arms I can kind of forgive when we consider the context, when we regard this whole gothic, almost baroque, aesthetic across the whole game. Whether sleep deprived or well rested, I'm still not sold on the hair being flung back up behind Draculard. It does kinda look like his back arm might be knocking it back, but like we've mentioned, there's not enough force for it to really have this effect on the hair. Something about it seems like it gets flung back like that to give the impression that the run is more dynamic than it actually is, whereas it would look totally fine if the hair was just gently flowing like the cloak, instead of unnaturally going crazy. But Dan, he's supernatural, you says. Nothing about this is natural anyway, it's all unnatural, yes, but what I mean is that in terms of believable animation, and the rules you set out yourself, it all needs to be consistent. And in my opinion, the hair flinging back is the only bit that doesn't really fit in the cycle, as I believe it doesn't follow the realistic fluid motion the animators have painstakingly set out to achieve. Anyway, who runs in Symphony of the Night? Doesn't everyone just do this? If I were to have you take a message away from this Diddy deep dive, it'd be to go forward with what you think looks right and not always feel conflicted with what other people might feel looks good, because as long as you're confident with your movement, it'll always look good. Skill and practice are the structure, but having fun is the decoration. Consider supporting the channel like these legends if you want to help me push my YouTubing commitment out of the wee early hours of the morning into a more sociable and manageable time frame. See you next time. Love you, bye.